Hi, everyone. How you doing? Hi, judges. My name is Edricio. This is my co-founder, Amer. We are Regalii. We are revolutionizing global remittances. We allow immigrants to pay for all of their family's basic needs back home, all via an SMS. Now, I want to tell you a story. This is my real-life family, my aunt and my grandma. They raised me. I owe them everything I got. That's why ever since coming to this country 20 years ago, I've been sending money back home every single month so I can use it for food, medicine, and utility bills. Except that every time I'm sending money, they're faced with this. They have to pay for a bus to go to an agency, wait online for 2 hours, then go to another agency to pay their utility bills. On top of that, Western Union taxes them up to 10%. That's insane. And that's why we started Regalii. With us, now hard-working immigrants can send a credit directly to their family's cell phone in Latin America that could be used to pay for food, medicine, utility bills, even tuition. Our customers can visit us online or can visit us offline at one of 200 partner mom-and-pop stores. Now let's take a look at that process. This is Rosa Maria. She's a real-life customer. Now, whenever Rosa wants to put food on the table for her sister back in Latin America, all she has to do is visit one of our local mom-and-pop stores, provide her info, such as her name on cell phone, her sister's name on cell phone, and that's it. She gets an instant SMS notification. Now in Latin America, her sister gets a unique SMS PIN code that she can use to pay for food at the local supermarket. It works just like a gift card. Now, her sister also has the option to transfer part of those funds to a family member or another friend who typically also has family in the US. So it's inherently viral. We are building a social network on top of the remittance experience. This is the future of global remittances. And who's the better judge of that than our very own customers? We are growing 67% week over week, have over 5,000 customers. And just last week alone, we had 1,200 new paying customers. And that is all coming from one single neighborhood in New York City, Washington Heights, serving one market, the Dominican Republic. Next, we are going to scale into the rest of Latin America, which receives $69 billion in remittances each year. Now, 64% of that is already being spent on food and utility bills. Now, the reason we can scale so quickly is because we already have the contracts that gives us access to 7,200 retail locations in 8 different countries. No other company has this diversity and magnitude of portfolio. Now, each of these retailers pay us a fee, which allow us to subsidize how much we charge our customers, a low flat fee of just $3, up to 70% cheaper than any alternative. Now multiply that by the 40 million immigrants who send money back home every single month, and you have a $3.4 billion revenue opportunity. We are Regalii. We're a tech company built by immigrants, helping 40 million immigrants put food on the table and keeping the lights on with their loved ones back home. Thank you.
All right. Regalii. Judges, any of you guys want to jump in? Roll off.
Keith, what do you think?
So as Jason mentioned in the introduction, obviously with Roll-Off, I serve on the board of a company you compete with called Zoom. I helped Kevin and Alan start the company in 2003.
Never heard of it.
So I've suffered through a lot of these challenges before. I think one of the key ones is how do you acquire customers? Because Western Union and other large companies spending a lot of money. So how do you plan to scale the 1,200 customers to 12 million customers? What channels?
Perfect.
What can you afford to spend on it?
So since we've launched for the past 3 months, we've gone from 0 to 5,000. The key lesson learned in that time frame is that there have been 2 catalysts behind our growth. Number 1, we have saturated the different ways that you can send funds directly to your family, making it seamlessly easy, meaning you can use Regalii through our website, our Facebook app, soon our mobile app. Offline, we have partnered with 200 points of sales, typically local supermarkets, local grocery stores, local travel agencies. We are where our community already is. We make it much more easier, much more seamless. The second component, second catalyst behind our growth has been the virality behind it. When people send funds directly to their families, it is a very family-centric experience. People typically share those funds with their sisters, their loved ones, even friends. So what tends to happen is those friends also have family here. So what we've seen informally is an informal virality component where every customer is bringing 0.1 customer, at least in the last cohort that we saw. So we already have a pipeline offline to double our 200 points of sale to 400 over the next month.
So one of the things that wasn't clear to me from the presentation is when I send funds to a specific recipient, can they only spend that money at one specific retailer on the receive side? So one specific store, something like that?
Yeah.
Or is it universal?
Perfect, great question. So as of today is one specific chain, and the reason we've done that is because that model, the closed loop gift card model, allows us to circumvent and remain exempt from money transmitter licensing. In the future, we'll make that process universal.
Interesting. And then on the send side, the demo showed the person having to walk into a physical store to hand over the cash. Do you accept electronic forms of payment today?
Yes, through our website and
Do you do credit cards? Are you accepting bank account funds?
Yeah, debit cards and credit cards, and offline you can pay with cash.
Okay.
And what does the retailer need to do to accept these payments? Is there anything special on their end, or do they need to integrate any software, or how do they implement or accept payment?
They really don't have to do anything special in order to accept the payment. They're essentially, they essentially get set up, they call us to get set up as a merchant. We open a merchant account for them. We give them our ACH details, and we extend them a small line of credit. And then they just log into our app and accept payment as cash. And we keep track of how much is owed to us, and then they ACH it to us.
But I think you were asking about the receive side.
Yeah, I'm talking about the retailer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
So from the retail end, we have a couple of things. So for larger retailers, we do RESTful API integrations into our system. And for our smaller retailers who aren't so technologically advanced, we use SMS redemption on their end and SMS verification using their own phones.
Okay, thanks.
What's the average transaction size?
Typically for food is anywhere from between 50 and 100. For utility bills is a little smaller, between 20 and 50.
And so if I send $100, how much does the person receive after all 100. The fees? No, okay, so who pays the fee? There's $7 in fees, is that right?
I can answer that. So essentially, if you send $100, $3 of that would go to us, and then the rest goes directly to your family member. We collect the rest of that, the balance of the $7, the balance of the 7% comes to us from discounts that the retailers give us.
Okay, and are all third-party fees included in your $3 fee? credit card fees in particular.
Yes.
Yes.
Keith, is this going to work?
Well, it depends. The next question is, what are your costs? So what does it
What are
actually
your
cost you
costs?
to do that?
Perfect.
Your
So
costs are really important here. What are they?
So our COGS, our cost of goods sold, offline, we pay each merchant $2 out of the 3. Now, typically, on the retailer side, we collect anywhere from 3 to 6%. They pay us.
Right, but on the recipient side, presumably you're paying something to the partner or not?
No, that's the novelty because they're sending it to only one retailer. The retailer's paying them instead of being.
I thought the
a
sender
cost.
retailer was paying you. Is the sender, so imagine you're walking into a US store and sending it to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Which of those 2 stores is paying you?
So the way I understood it is they have to pay the send store in the US $2.
Okay.
They charge the sender $3, but the received merchant is paying them $4
Yes.
because it's
Okay.
locked into a specific merchant where the person is going to spend the money.
And so then the other cost is, depending upon what the way it's funded, if it's a credit card on your website, obviously you're going to have to pay those fees, but that's just blended across all your transactions, different costs depending upon the funding instrument.
Yeah, it's different COGS. If online, it's just the 2.5% credit card fee. If it's offline, the $2 for the merchant.
That's interesting.
Yes, our customers absolutely love it. People come up to us in the street and they've really taken up hold of it.
So you're Y Combinator,
Yes.
which means you own part of it, you own part of it,
Oh, I don't.
and you own part of it,
Nope.
right?
Nope. Not this one.
No, because you're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So you guys both own part of this company.
Very, very small, but yeah.
Okay. And I'm an investor in both your funds, so I also own a little tiny piece.
Wow.
Awesome. Great.
I think I'm the only impartial person here, I guess.
Yeah.
And,
It's really a board meeting of Regalii right now.
Chris, what do you think about it?
Well, we have 2 of the foremost payment experts here on the panel.
Yeah.
So
You defer to them. So what are the pain points that they still have to deal with? Obviously, you're talking about the costs earlier. What are the other issues that might arise that they should be concerned about?
Well, as he alluded to, clearly there's regulatory complexity to this, and I think you have a very clever starting point, as do many of the people who start payments companies. They usually find a way of hacking into that, and then eventually you have to switch, and you'll have to allocate, real money, real resources to hiring lawyers, and you'll have minimum net worth requirements in various states, and it just becomes a drag coefficient. So you have to grow faster than the normal company because you've got to be able to finance and afford that. But it's doable, it's accomplishable. Several other people have done it.
Yeah, well, we're actually pretty excited on that point because we have world-class investors in companies that you all very well know, who I can't mention right now, but they've invested in us because they know that space very well as far as cutting-edge payment system. So as far as getting the right advice, the right mentorship, we're very well suited in that regard. So I'm pretty excited to have those guys on board.
What are the risks in terms of fraud, security, et cetera? I mean, usually when there's this much money flowing, there's all kinds of incentives for people to say like counterfeit SMS messages because then those SMS messages are money.
Yeah. So just like most money transfer operators, we require a government-issued ID, and there's also a PIN number that that they go in separate text messages that you need to unlock the gift code. On the sender end, for offline, you send cash, so there's really no possibility of fraud there. Online, we have more the risks of an e-commerce retailer than we do of a money transfer operation because we're sending gift cards, and we employ the same strategies that are used there, including IP blocking, credit card motels, and velocity detection to block those, and of course, we're PCI compliant.
Anyone else? All right.
Maybe just say, I'm an immigrant as well. I send money back home to my family. I really relate to the problem that you're trying to solve. I think you have a very clever market insertion point by going after the closed loop retailers with this gift card approach that you have. I think it's a very smart way of entering the market. It's much lighter from a regulatory point of view than what we had to endure at Zoom.
Yes.
I think eventually you'll probably want to get there because I imagine it's going to be constraint on your growth if consumers don't want to send because you may not have the right retailer, or I want to send $200, I don't want to send 4 $50 transactions for the different bills my mom has to pay. So I think there's interesting challenges you have to face, but they're all solvable problems, so I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you. So, I mean, thus far, the adoption has been very strong from our community in New York City. So we think that there's a humongous market opportunity in the rest of the states.
Very cool. Well done.
All right.
Great, thanks.
No more questions? That was Regalii. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.